Hello, it's great to have you here today. It's time for Monday Motivation. Today we're talking about the heart of slow living. Have you ever felt like life is moving faster than your heart can keep up? Oh my, I think we could all answer yes to that. The world changes so quickly. Many of us are anxious, worrisome people. Life is so fast and so loud. So we live at this pace that feels relentless, always finding something else to do, somewhere else to be, another message waiting, another email to respond to, or another responsibility that we've committed to. And after a while, even if you're doing all the right things, we begin to feel worn down. We feel rushed and hurried. We think we can carry it all by ourselves. So we overcommit. We're overburdened and we're tired. Not just tired in our bodies, but tired in our souls. In reality, we are overwhelmed and distracted and cynical, probably. These feelings make it difficult to find hope. But slowing down reminds us that life was meant to be lived with purpose, gratitude, and hope. That's why the idea of slow living has begun to resonate with so many people. It offers a gentler, more intentional way of life, a way of moving through the world. If we haven't met before, my name is Terri Sterk. I am a wellness coach and an author. I serve women like you and like me, those of us who have experienced challenging seasons in our lives. My aim is to help all of you nurture wellness of body, mind, and spirit. So today I'm talking about slow living. And it isn't about doing everything slowly. That's not what it is. Even with slow living, life is still heavy. We still have difficult problems that will impact us. But slow living is about doing right things at the right pace. So life feels more grounded, meaningful, peaceful. Then when a hard season does approach, you're better able to handle it. You're prepared. Today, I want to talk about the heart of slow living and how simple, timeless principles can help us learn to lead a steadier, peaceful, calmer life. First of all, what can we learn from Denmark? Interesting. In recent years, many people have become interested in the Danish culture. The country is often ranked among the world's happiest places. One reason is a Danish concept called hygge. Hygge is not about luxury or perfection. Hygge, loosely translated to English, means a sense of comfort, togetherness, well-being. So it's about coziness and connection, contentment in our everyday lives. It might look like lighting a candle in the evening or sharing a simple meal with loved ones or sitting with a warm drink on a quiet afternoon or creating a peaceful, welcoming space at home. It's about presence. The focus isn't on productivity or achievement. In the little book of Hygge, Mike Viking explains that happiness in Denmark often comes from small, shared moments. The idea fits beautifully with slow living and all we're talking about today. Because slow living is really about the same thing, finding meaning in the ordinary moments of our lives and creating a life that feels steady, warm, and grounded. The first principle of slow living is an intentional pace. Well, what does that mean? It means instead of reacting to every demand, we begin to choose our priorities more carefully. Modern life encourages us to say yes to everything, every invitation, every request, every opportunity. But when we do that, our schedules become full and our lives begin to feel empty. We have no space to do anything that we really want. An intentional pace means you're learning to say no. You have fewer commitments, but each of those commitments is more meaningful. You have space between activities instead of doing everything one after the other and then coming home exhausted. It allows you time to reflect before acting. In Denmark, people often protect their personal time. Evenings are for family. Meals are shared with their family and others. Work does not usually spill into every corner of life. The Danes have a cultural understanding that rest, connection, and simple pleasures are not luxuries, they're necessities. Slow living invites us to adopt that same mindset. My word for 2026 is space. I think I've mentioned that on previous lives. But I'm letting go of what no longer brings me joy. It's about reprioritizing my commitments to free up space for those things that support my values and purpose. Creating margins in your life allows you to reprioritize your commitments. The second principle to live by is establishing daily rhythms rather than rigid schedules. Schedules focus on efficiency, getting everything we can done in the shortest amount of time. Rhythm focuses on sustainability. For generations, people lived by rhythms, sunrise and sunset, meal times together, work followed by rest, seasons of activity and seasons of stillness. Danish culture still reflects this in many ways, with a strong emphasis on work-life balance, shared meals, and time at home. Slow living encourages gentle routines that support the body, mind, and spirit. Here's some examples. A simple morning ritual. This is something that I've made important in my life. But it's a rhythm. It's not at a specific time of day. It's in the morning, usually the first thing I do. It sets me up for a good day. And when I miss it, well, something's missing. My day just doesn't go as well. Also, meal times without rushing. Enjoying a leisurely meal and really tasting the food. A quiet evening routine. How do you shut down your mind at night? You could have a rhythm for that. Time set aside for reflection or prayer. These rhythms create stability. They become anchors in our days. The third principle is presence in ordinary moments. This is where the heart of both slow living and hygge truly meet. So much of life is made up of small, ordinary moments. For me, it's my hot cup of coffee in the morning or a slow walk outside. Maybe it's preparing a simple meal or sitting in silence or prayer. And remember to breathe. When we're running from one thing to the next, a good way to slow down is to recognize your breathing. Inhale and exhale. It will slow you down because you are being intentional about your breathing. But when you're rushing without thought, we miss all these ordinary moments. Slow living teaches us that happiness comes from, warm lighting, shared conversations with people that we care about, comforting routines, rhythms, simple pleasures. It's not about perfection, but it is about presence. Slow living reminds us that ordinary moments of life are not to be rushed through. The ordinary moments are where life actually happens. It's where peace and joy appear. The fourth principle is connection to what matters most. When we slow down, we begin to reconnect with our faith, with our families, with our friendships, with nature and the changing seasons. We connect with our personal values and our purpose. The Danish people have a strong sense of community and trust. People prioritize time together. Social connection is seen as essential, not optional. Those are Danish traditions, but these are also values I hold close to my heart. Maybe you do too. Slow living brings us back to that same truth. A meaningful life is not built on constant activity. It's built on what we nurture day after day, moment by moment. Our relationships, our spiritual lives, our sense of purpose. There are misunderstandings about slow living. It's a concept some people don't fully understand. But it doesn't mean being lazy or avoiding responsibility when you say no, or moving off the grid and not talking to anyone. It's also not about creating a perfect ascetic lifestyle. It is not about escaping life. It is about engaging with life more deeply and more intentionally. You can practice slow living no matter where you live. A city apartment, a house, while you're working full-time, part-time, or you're a stay-at-home person. As a parent or caregiver, or any other season of life. I learned about slow living when a friend gifted me the book, the little book of hygge. It's not about where you live. It's about how you live. I can relate to those of you who are raising young children and you don't have enough hours in the day to get it all done. I've been there. But when I look back, I see moments where I did slow down when I had the life with my kids. It was sitting in a comfy chair, reading Harry Potter to my little ones, or riding bikes together on the last day of school and going out for ice cream. Another memory is learning to play chess with my son on the floor in front of the fireplace. I guess we found time to slow down even when the world kept going at full speed. If your life feels really rushed right now, you're not alone. The world is moving at lightning speed, and it's hard to keep up. But there is another way to live, using an intentional pace, gentle daily rhythms, presence in ordinary moments, connection to what matters most. You don't have to change everything at once. It's about reprioritizing what truly is important. You can start with one small step. Maybe it's developing a morning ritual. Maybe it's creating a comfy nook in your home, a comfy chair where you can sit and just be, or read, or read to your kids. Plan a simple, quiet meal with everyone home and at the table. Take a quiet walk in the sunshine. Light a candle and sit in silence for just a moment. Because a life of peace and purpose is not built on rush. Let's create an unhurried life. Just slow down and appreciate the joys in the ordinary moments. I'll leave you with this question. What part of your life needs a slower, more intentional pace? Can you think of an answer to that question? Thanks for joining me today. As always, I'm cheering you on.